providing masks and gloves to our team members, and offering contactless shopping options through the Target app, like Drive Up and same-day delivery. We are here for you now more than ever, and your health and safety is our highest priority. Learn more at target.com/a-bullseye-view.
New Dunkin' Refreshers. Vibrant fruit flavors like strawberry, dragon fruit, and peach passion fruit. B vitamins and energy from green tea. All under 200 calories. Order ahead via the Dunkin' app for a contactless way to order, pay, and pick up in the drive-thru. America runs on Dunkin'. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Amazon is hiring near you. Earn a competitive wage and start as soon as 7 days. No resume or experience required. Health and safety are a top priority with all of Amazon's roles and sites. Amazon is taking precautions in their buildings to keep people healthy. Go to amazon.com/apply. That's amazon.com/apply. Amazon is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey everybody, it's your girl, Shelly Shell Williams, Philly's Oprah, host and executive producer of Single on a Saturday Night. And guess what? I've teamed up with DJ Kid Disco. He is the king of the podcast, and we have Zoom Your Podcast Masterclass. Have you ever wanted to start a podcast, learn how to be a Zoom professional, throw a virtual party? Now is the perfect time to learn all about it in Zoom Your Podcast. Go to ShellyShellWilliams.com or go to Instagram at ShellyShellWilliams or at DJ Kid Disco. DM us. Find out more information. This class is a must-take class. Hey everybody, it's Shelly Shell Williams, Philly's Oprah, executive producer of Urban Expressions, Single on a Saturday Night, but I am a business, social media, and media coach. And if you're looking to show up on social media with a purpose, I have a course for you. Have you been struggling as an entrepreneur trying to figure out how to get people to engage, how to get people to buy, how to get people just to see you on social media? I have just the course for you. Please go to ShellyShellWilliams.com to find out more.
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
Yo, what's good? This is Tracy Lee, and you already know I gets down with the get down, man. Grown Folks Radio all day.
Hi, everybody. This is CYNDA Williams, and I am the co-host of the Melanated Morning Show and the host of the PPC Radio Show. And you are listening to Grown Folks Radio. Radio.
Hey, everybody. And this is Monty on the Scene, and we're listening to Grown Folks Radio. I know everybody just caught the kickoff, and I know that the Eagles are on right now. Okay, I know that. But we're gonna get into some inspiration. DJ Kid Disco, you watching the game? You checking out the game? So what I'm doing today, everyone. I wanted to share with everyone a type of devotions that I do. So we're going to do something a little different. I'm going to read from one of my devotional books, which is The Daily Bread. And in The Daily Bread, it's almost like how people do horoscopes. You know, when you look up your horoscope for the day and it's like, oh, I'm an Aries. What's my horoscope for the day? What's it going to tell me? So instead of me doing stuff like that, I kind of read Daily Bread and lets me know what we're doing for the day. So today I have one that states for December, and it says beautiful unity. All right. I got to put these glasses on, folks, just for the reading. I told y'all last time my sister cursed me with that. Told me once I start with the glasses and reading, it's a wrap. I'm gonna need them every time. So that's the situation. It's called Beautiful Unity. So I'm gonna start off with reading the story. It starts and it says, seeing 3 large predator animals cuddle and play together is extremely unusual. Yet This is precisely what happens daily in an animal sanctuary in Georgia. In 2001, after months of neglect and abuse, a lion, a Bengal tiger, and a black bear. Now there are three different species. They were rescued by Noah's Ark Animal Sanctuary. We could have separated them, said the assistant director. He said, but since they came in as kind of a family, we decided to keep them together. The trio had found comfort in each other during their time of mistreatment, and despite their differences, they lived peacefully together. There's also a scripture that goes with this that I'm going to read from, and it's Ephesians 4, verses 1 through 6. As a prisoner for the Lord, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body, one Spirit, just as you are called to one hope when you are called to one Lord, one faith, one baptismal, one God, and one Father of all, who is over all, and through all, and in all. Did y'all get that part? So he's in all. That states that right there. But in the beginning of it, it states how we should be humble, loving, gentle, patient, bearing one another's burdens, and actually loving one another. And at this day and time, which I know if everybody sits back and realizes it's a trying time for us to be unified, because right now with the way things are going in the world and they're telling us to stay away from each other, how can we unify when we're not able to even come together? So here's one of the ways that we're coming together: on a virtual, or on the radio, on our social sites. We're coming together and we're interacting and stuff. And who knows, this seems like it may actually be a new norm. But going back to the story that we were talking about, if you know a lion and a tiger and a bear all getting along together, that right there is just something that's kind of hard to imagine. But because they were going through what they were going through, they bonded together. They bonded together. And nowadays, what is the statement that they said? We're all in this together. But technically we are. We are all in this together. And that's how we have to deal with things, together. Even though we're separate, we're dealing with a lot of these social and the different issues together. And that's how we have to look at it. And actually stating what's in the scripture, being more patient, more gentle, more loving. This is at the highest that we need to be. We really need to be, because I know that I've come across it, and I know that you guys have too, where everybody seems like they're so tense and so on edge and rush. And I can tell you honestly, the few places that I've been, I don't think I've ever seen so many accidents. It's almost like I sit back and I'm analyzing. I'm like, okay, well, is it because they're trying to rush to get to where they're going? Is it because maybe they ain't been out on the streets and been driving? Like, I'm wondering. But the thing is, if you think about everything and how a lot of people's mental is right now, that can be trying on itself with driving through the city. You know, you sit there for a second and somebody sit too long at a light and they beeping at you or something. You know, that's it's a trying time, and we are all in this together. But as it states in the scripture, we have to be completely humble, gentle, patient, and bearing one another in love. Making a conscious effort to keep unity. That's through the spirit, and basically to try to help keep peace. It's 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 a really good feeling when you're going through something and someone comforts you. It couldn't just be a word, but it's a good feeling. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm not out here by myself. Even with the way things are in this world, you're not by yourself. So I'm gonna finish up in reading in the Daily Bread. So the first part tells you about the story about the three animals living together. So then it says, united is a beautiful thing. But in the scriptures that we just read, Paul wrote about this in his letters to the believers in Ephesians. Paul encouraged the Ephesians to live up to their calling as members of one body in Christ. So basically, it was written in the Bible, Paul wrote it, but that applies to us too. We have to live up to our calling, which states as being one body in Christ, that we are to, by the power of the Holy Spirit, we are to live in unity as they develop humility, gentleness, and patience. That's being humble. That was the things that we just read about in the scripture. So it just breaks it down in everyday talking about what we should do. These attitudes also allows us to be loving, bearing with one another. So if I have a loving heart, then I'm bearing out of love, I'm bearing that you might be going through something. So I'm not going to come off in some kind of negative way and make your day worse. So I'm going to come to you in a loving way. I'm going to come to you and try to be comforting in a loving way, because that's what we're supposed to do. It's our calling. Like each week that I've stated, it's our calling. It's in the Bible. God tells us that's what we're to do. So through the common ground we have in Christ Jesus. So despite our differences as members of the family of God, we have been reconciled to him through the death of our Savior, and reconciled to each other through the ongoing work of the Holy Spirit in our lives. So reconciliation means a completeness and a wholeness with God and with others and with creation. And in parentheses, it states unity. So that means that we're all in this together. As I know you've heard throughout the whole year, we're all in this together. We are all in this together. There is a higher calling for everything that we're going through. It may be a lot in the physical, but spiritually, we're going through things, and through Christ, we are reconciled, and we're all going through this together. It's our job. So everybody's adopted into the family. Oh, I do see that it's commercial, so maybe, our DJ will pop on the screen over here. But Christians should be committed to reconciling people to God. And that's found in Corinthians 5:18-20. Hey there, DJ. He's back a little something. How's it going? I see that the Eagles have 3. He gave me a flag, y'all. He's flagging me on over here on the screen. He's flagging me. But see, just like I was just talking about it, we're all in this together. So if us as Eagle fans, if we win together, we lose together also. But we're gonna get a W today. We're gonna get a W today. Okay, all right. He's shaking his head no. All right. But anyway, I have faith. I have faith. See, while we're talking inspirational, we have faith. I have faith. The Eagles are gonna win this one. They're gonna win this one. They're gonna win this one. Because we're all in this together. We're all in this together. So again, like I said, it's one of the tools that I use for devotion, and it's very knowledgeable, and it does help you with everyday situations. And to me, like I said, it's much better than going to a horoscope and stuff like that, because what a horoscope doesn't have is that this is backed by a scripture, which scripture is the word of God, and it doesn't come back void. When the Lord says something, he mean it, and it's going to come to pass. And we're all in this together. Beautiful unity. So I thank everyone for their listening, and to go away with the scripture, I would like for you to study in your own time Ephesians 4 verses 1 through 6. And I also put on here verses 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read 7 for right now, because it goes along with it. Okay, so verses 1 through 6, and then I'm going to read the ending part, and then I'm going to verse 7. There's one body, one spirit, just as you are called to one hope, and you are called to one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God, and one Father of all. And he is the Father of all, who is over all, and through all, and in all. But to each one of us, this is verse 7, but to each one of us, grace has been given as Christ appointed it. So we have this through God's grace, which his grace and mercies are new every day, every day. So if you feel you've messed up, God gives us grace and mercy every day. And he does not give us what we deserve, because there's some things, and we deserve a punishment, but has grace and mercy on us. And then also too, I'm going to also finish this out with letting everyone know that we are all in this together. And I challenge you to go out and be patient, be humble, be loving, and actually be loving and humble and kind to somebody who you're not usually kind to. And then let me know how it makes you feel inside, because the feeling of it would be surprising to you. If you react to an action in a way that somebody doesn't expect you to, I'm telling you right now, because I've been there, it's a whole different feeling. It's a whole different feeling inside of you that is like a warming, and it's a peace. It's a peace that comes over you, because not only for one are you reacting in a positive way, but at the same time, you're cutting off that negativity that may come at you because that person is in a defense, thinking that you're going to react a certain way. So I, like I said again, so I challenge you to do that. Change your reaction to somebody's action. Sit back, take a couple seconds. And that's what I do. I'll be like, God, please give me the words right now. And it doesn't have to be out loud. And it doesn't have to be where anybody knows what you're saying, because God will hear you. You just let him know, God, please let me get through this situation. I don't want to react in a bad way, because I want to be positive. I want to be an example of you, because I'm supposed to be humble, kind, loving, and in unity. So again, I'm gonna turn it over to the DJ. We'll get some music played, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk some highlights. We'll get into some highlights. And oh, I gotta say, after these messages, we'll be right back. If that's not old school to me, oh my gosh, that is so. I love that commercial. It reminds me of old school, you know. I'm a commercial fanatic. I love commercials. Commercials are so funny to me. I mean, like I will sit and watch commercials over a TV show sometimes just because I love them. So after the commercials, Disco, you got some commercials after the commercials? Music going.
WGFB-FM radio.
So are you ready?
Yeah. How it used to be. Something for everyone. 24/7, 365.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
For the health and safety of our guests and team members, we're here for you. That means frequently.
Okay. They still can't hear us.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going back to music. Okay, I'm reading the text.
If I share it, will it go back to the regular? I mean, will it go back to the beginning? If I still share it now, it'll be the whole thing. All right.
If you share it now, it's gonna. If you share it now, it's gonna pick up where it is.
But will it have the beginning of it too?
So that means you're live right now.
Yeah, it'll be live right now, but they'll be able to see the whole thing later on.
But will it have the beginning of
See?
it too?
Did you talk to the people?
Yes, they're sitting there.
But what happens is I was trying to take the echo off. I'm sorry. I was trying to take off the echo.
Okay, folks, we are here on a commercial break. This is Grown Folks Radio, Money on the Screen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We are on a break right now. I know y'all can't see me because I don't want to see y'all because the Eagles are looking real retarded right now. But
no, but Eagles have 3, so they got a field goal. So they're you know.
They still suck some other stuff. We're not going to talk about that because it's Sunday. But anyway, don't make me cuss on the Sunday.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right. All right, that's right. So that's good.
Catch me on Monday.
No, he said he doesn't cuss on Sunday. No, Sunday. See, that's what used to do old school. That's what used to happen with old school. You didn't cuss on Sundays. The bars wasn't open on Sundays. You didn't have the guys hanging out on the corner on Sundays. You know, Sundays was like a holy day.
I don't cuss publicly. No, I don't cuss publicly on Sundays.
That's right. That's what it was. You wouldn't do it publicly. You wouldn't do it to where it was seen. Like the people on the corner, they wouldn't be out on the corner drinking their wine and start that stuff because you don't see that stuff.
That's true.
But they might have did it in the house. Sundays you didn't do it. That's that old school.
Yeah, that's old school.
So we're going to music, and you're not going to talk anymore for the next 20 minutes, right?
Okay. Yes.
Just making sure. DJ Smooth sent me this really nice, good mix, uplifting mix.
Oh, nice.
Uplift, as he calls it.
That's
I actually like it. It's not all gospel, it's just uplifting music.
You're right. So as far as Facebook, still talk there, or you got me?
You are on Facebook Live.
You're on Facebook Live now, but I'm getting ready to cut it off because I'm ready to play music.
He's cutting it off.
Yeah.
No, that's not what you do. You don't cut it off. You just talk through the music. You talk.
I don't know what y'all doing.
I don't know either. I was trying to understand it. But anyway, like I'm saying, I'm a reamp on what I was talking about earlier. But like I was saying, as far as unity and everything, so definitely we need to all be in this thing together right now. That was something that relates to every day. So that was why I figured it was something good to talk about, because there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that's going on that people don't realize, that people are dealing with mentally. That's why I said sometimes speak out, and talk to people, because you never know what it is that they're going through. And until you kind of ask, hey, are you okay today? Check on people. That's what I tell people that all the time. Call somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, because they might need to just hear you. I actually got a phone call today, and it was nice to hear from her, and find out what the young lady has going on and stuff. And it's a good thing. So give somebody a call. It may actually enhance or enrich your life to talk to that person. Even if you're just calling to check on them, make sure they're okay. Because being in Philly, they shut down a lot of stuff again. So that right there is a trying time for some people, because where it's like you can't even go out and have and have a little meal or something. And they started getting back into actually doing that, and that was a way for somebody to get out the house with that cabin fever.
So you know what? You know what? Uh, First of all, people are whole because of COVID. Some people are home alone. Some people live alone. Some people don't have. So some people make those phone calls because they need some sort of interaction with the real world. And like you said, you never know what somebody's going through.
That's yeah.
I want the radio. Facebook heard this, but I want the radio to hear what we was talking about off the air. I mean, during a commercial break about old school values. And what do they really mean? I mean, the values we used to have.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I'm like, the whole name of Grown Folks Radio is really like it's so deep. Like, if you think about it, it's really deep, because what you guys are doing, it's making you actually remember, because that's the stuff that we're going back to. Think about it. I want to say hey to Melvin Howard. What's up? He said, what's up? So I'm saying hey. But what we had to do during this COVID, this wash your hands, and when you come in the house, change your clothes and do that. That's all the stuff. Think about it. That's the stuff you had to do back when you was growing up. Like, when I came in the house from outside playing, my mom was like, go straight to the bathroom, wash your face and hands, get ready for dinner. Like, like that's the stuff we had to do. That's like those old school values that you had to grow up with, that you did naturally. So you got to tell people now, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, don't cough on people, don't sneeze on people. Like, come on, that's the everyday stuff you learn manners wise. You know what I'm saying?
So you say that this COVID is real?
What kind of question is that? Look, what do you mean, is it real?
You in the house because it's real.
Here she come. Here she come.
He in the house because it's real. Where you been since this COVID?
Is it real?
So it's real to you too.
Of course it's real.
The question is
dying from COVID.
The question is, do you particularly?
Oh, me personally, do I think that COVID is real?
Are you saying that you agree that COVID is real? Stop playing around with this, not a hoax. I'm asking you.
Okay. No, I don't think it's a hoax. But I can tell you this is what I think. I really know, because I really do believe that it was a planted virus. I think it was put out there. I believe every generation has its genocide, and this to me, I believe, was part of a genocide.
I opened Pandora's box on a Sunday.
Yep, you did, because I'm gonna tell you what made me actually really start getting into looking into genocide was the Vietnam War. When I
Shelley
read into the
felt
Vietnam War, the way that whole thing went about, it seemed like genocide to me. And what they always kind of gear it to, or they claim that it affects, is the poor and minorities and things of that nature, is what they gear it to when they put it out there. Now, where it kind of goes to after that, that's a different story. But when they put it out to gear it towards the minorities and the poor and people who they feel they don't want around, or as many of them around.
okay. So we're gonna go back to old school values because this is real. That means we should be kinder to folks, more empathetic to folks, and we should call and check on folks.
Yeah, because just like you said, there's people out there that live alone. And and there's people out there that live with people and are lonely. And I'm saying that, and I'm not saying it to be facetious or smart or being, being rude or offend anybody. But I had a friend who I really believe that even though they were married, that they were lonely because of always trying to get out the house, or always trying to, like, they, you know what I mean? Like they look more to the outside people than to what's at home, if that makes sense.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why be like, well, I mean, what it's like, I do stuff with my wife. I'm like, yeah, but you still seem like you're kind of lonely. And I'll be like, okay.
Oh, get out that house right there. Get out the house. Get out that house right there.
Oh. Again, disclaimer, I am not trying to offend anyone. I do not know about anyone's story. I am talking about a friend of mine's that actually, I can't even say that part, but.
So you are telling somebody's story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to, yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's no getting around it. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Because and what's sad about it is that I felt that with them before this COVID. So then once COVID hit, I kind of had a feeling that it might have hit even harder, because then you're really alone because people are staying away from everybody.
2021 will be the year of separations and divorce.
And
the statistics will.
I'm not claiming that. I'm not trying to separate from anybody. Is there anybody I'm close to?
No, but I'm just being real. After 2020 has been a year of clear vision, so people are seeing people for what's really going on. They're seeing situations for what's really going on. And I'm telling you, divorce courts are going to be bumping.
Well, see, go ahead,
by
Sean,
February.
say something. But what you're saying, it may, because the whole thing of 2020, like I said, everybody always say, oh, it's that's a year 2020. You got perfect vision. Yes, perfect vision of whatever it is that God would have for you to see. So if you see that person that you've been with for all those years is really not the person that God has for you, then maybe you're right, DJ Disco, that maybe that's what it's going to open up the door for that person to actually move forward.
Well, look at it this way: you got a lot more domestic violence going on since COVID.
Okay, Crystal Garnett, beautiful spirits. Thank you.
That is Philly Beauty.
Yeah, she said beautiful spirits. Thank you. And that's what we have to have. We got to have that spirit, that good. I'm glad she said that, because there is an aura that you let off of you. And if someone feels that they can open up to you, they will. And And if you have a kindness, a gentleness, a humbleness about you, then that makes it easier for other people.
So that goes back to the old school values that we were talking about. We had more empathy and good spirit and things of that. Let's say this pandemic had taken place in, let's say, the 80s or even the 90s. People had more empathy back then. The government had more empathy. But now it just seems like it's every man for himself.
Is it?
Yeah, see that's now that's another story. That's something that my son will get into too with that with the government and the military, because he was in the military and he's not surprised by none of this stuff. He goes into it and tells you, he's like, I've seen some things being in the military, he said, and none of this surprises me.
Being in the military myself and being a man of color in the military, I agree.
Yeah, you've seen things, so it's not surprising. So this whole thing about talking about some hoax and all that stuff like that, you know what they do.
I've seen some hoaxes
Yeah,
created in the military, or as we call it, scuttlebutt. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've also seen people turn their heads, people in high command turn their heads to blatant stuff that was going on. So it's nothing new. It's just shocking that it's to this extent, blatant. But yeah,
you said Philly Beauty, right? Is Crystal's name?
Yes.
Yeah. Philly Beauty said that's why God is showing people. That's why God is showing people. So she's in agreement that God's showing everybody, right? This is 2020. He's letting you. This is a real vision.
See, 2020 vision is not what you think it's supposed to be. 2020 vision is seen as another way.
It's going deeper.
People was expecting it to be what they thought it was going to be. Oh yeah, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. But 2020 is exactly what is supposed to happen.
Yes, that's why I said it's the vision that He's given us. It goes beyond the physical. It's a spiritual. It's on a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. She said exactly. Meantime, yeah, it is. It's a whole nother level. People don't realize. But in the meantime, but you know what though? Honestly speaking, those people who need the more, I'm sorry, Disco. Those people who need the more to see something, God's giving it to them too. The ones like, oh, I need to see that, show and prove. There's some people, and if you sit back, I'm telling y'all, I have seen or heard people that you'd be surprised sitting there saying, oh yeah, you know what? Well, this is the mark of the beast. Oh, you know what? This is this and this. Oh, you know what? There are some people out there that you're surprised that they're taking noticing because God is working. Why? Think about some conversations you may have had with some people. Think about it. That's why I said I challenge people to think about that. Think about some conversations. Think about some of your thoughts, though, Disco.
Some of my thoughts.
Yeah, like you've had some epiphanies lately with some stuff, because you and Shelly be sitting there talking. You'd be like, "Oh yeah." And you. There's some things that's come to your mind because you're getting a certain vision that He's coming straight to you.
Well, Shelly is a visionary. She's an epiphanic person that makes you come to an epiphany.
Right, God's using her. And at the same time, you're being used, and you don't realize it too.
Okay.
You have, I want to say she's like I want to say she's an overseer, but she's overseeing your walk, and she's helping you in your walk. And at the same time, there's people seeing you walking in this walk and like, whoa, wait a minute. There's some stuff. Oh, check out Disco. Some may say it and some may not say it, but it's definitely there. It's definitely there.
So all of this still reverts back to old school values again. Yes. So,
well, is it old school values, or is it what already God placed on this earth as was supposed to be? Is it old school, or is it really what what was in the Bible, what God is asking us to be like.
Well, God is old school. His Bible, his word go way back.
She got you
I
there,
understand what you're
Shell.
saying. I know what you're saying.
But when you say old school, people think, oh, that's old fashioned. No, people got to be like that now. It got to be like that now. It ain't old school. It is what it's supposed to be, henceforth and forevermore.
So, and that makes sense. It's just bringing back to our knowledge what we know, just like how the word is inside of us. It brings it back up. It's stirring back up the stuff that's already there. It's stirring it up.
Stir it up. Well, Shelly got a song for everything else. What happened to that song? Stir it up.
She's in the back singing it. She's singing Bob Marley.
No, that's not Bar Marley. I'm talking about the one that was on the
Little darling.
No, the one. No,
I
no.
don't know what that was.
Oh yeah, no. I was thinking the one that was on Beverly Hills Cop.
Is that? I don't know.
Yeah, remember when he was in the truck and no, that was
Yeah, I know which one you said. It is that one.
That's all.
It's the that's the only one I can think of that too. But yeah, it's that fast one. It's
Facebook don't sit there in front like y'all ain't never watched Beverly.
That was just on. My son was watching it.
Don't front like
stuff come on all the time. Look.
Don't front like you don't watch Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2.
I actually don't. I need to look at it again.
Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights, yes, I will watch Harlem Nights. Boomerang, I will watch.
I was going to say Boomerang. Love Jones.
Jones, I watch that every time it come on.
And you know.
Love and Basketball. Oh my God.
Oh my God! I just posted that.
And that's, she got my name. That's so that was why I liked it.
Love and Basketball is my favorite. All right, y'all. Since we on this old school topic, name some of your favorite old, like you gotta watch it every time it come on, like no matter. Like I got one from
what?
So something that you watch. Well, what I like to watch every time it comes on is the old school cartoons, Christmas cartoons, like when they come on. Like
Charlie Brown,
I'm Mr. Heat Miser.
Everybody says Heat Miser. Everybody says I've been asking this question on the air for the last week or so, and everybody brings up Heat Miser.
Because that song that they sing back and forth, it's too much. I like that song.
Shelly was the only one that was on my vibe with Charlie Brown when the bull was just.
Oh yeah, that's my
The bull just jamming. Yeah, the bull at the show, he just jammed it to himself like.
But you know,
Philly Beauty said that came on last night.
People don't talk about Baby New Year enough.
Oh, I like that one too.
Baby New Year.
Baby New Year with the ears. Now my sons had some ears on them. So they was Baby New Year.
Nobody talks about the Grinch.
Well, that comes on.
That comes all the time. That was just on too. Yeah. They did the musical. My son got too excited from that. He was like, "Oh my God, Mom!" They had the Grinch musical. He loves musicals.
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Yeah.
So how many people out there?
Matthew Blake or somebody off of Glee. He's the Grinch.
Yeah, I saw
the lead guy from Glee. He's the Grinch. Yeah.
I saw them coming on and forgot to watch it.
Yeah, how many watch The Wizard of Oz every time it comes on?
The Wiz.
I watch The Wiz.
The Wiz.
The Wiz. No. You know I am black all day.
She funny.
The Wiz. So that means you watch Little Shop of Horrors and.
Little Shop of Horrors.
Look at this.
I saw that down at the TLC.
So Monica, can I ask a personal question?
Oh Lord. Depends on how personal.
Was Shelly the type that was always in the mirror with her hairbrush singing all these songs and
no
movie tunes and all that kind
of No, she wasn't. No.
Or just dancing.
You know what she was? You know what she was? I'm gonna tell you this. She was the one that would sit there and watch a show, right? And then rewrite it. But like, you know what? They should have did this, this, and this. And then I think they should have did this and this and this. And you know what? And what about this and this and this? They should have had a different ending, and they should have did it there. And that was her thing every time. Well, if I did it, I would have did it this, this, and this, and this. She was one of them that did that.
So Shelly was a natural born producer.
She was there you go. She was one that would try to take something and be like, you know what? Well, they should have did it this way. Philly Beauty said hers is The Wiz also. She said The Wiz.
The Wiz, oh my
God.
Wiz. That's on my, I don't have nothing on my playlist. Like, I don't have a long playlist on my phone, but The Wiz, those songs is on my playlist.
Can I tell you that I was we did The Wiz at the church and I was in it?
Yeah.
I was the understudy to Dorothy, but I was one of the also when I'm one of the dancers. I was one of the crows that was coming out. I was the crow. But me and Daryl was flipping across the stage. That's the one part that everybody was like, oh. I was doing backflips and stuff across the stage. But I did The Wiz as a teenager. Our church put that performance on. We did it down at Temple. We charged people and everything. We did it at Temple. It was a real big production. Remember Mia? Mia was Dorothy.
Oh yeah, Mia.
Yep, Mia was Dorothy.
Nobody talked about the one Santa Claus is coming to town. Nobody said Frosty the Snowman.
Oh yeah, like Frosty.
I like Frosty. I like all of the Christmas cartoons, all the old school Christmas cartoons. I loved all of them. Because they always had messages in them and they always had songs and stuff in there.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the thing that I looked at. Like, I'd be like, oh, okay, they got a little message. Oh, well, they saying this, this, and this. And see, that was...
like Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, my gosh.
Conjunction, junction.
What's your function?
Everybody know that joke.
Remember? But how about this one? I am only a bill. I am sitting here on Capitol Hill. And I was like, oh my God.
You know what? The White House needs to watch that now so they can learn something. Anyway.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I went there. I did. I really did.
They did. Oh, she said, ooh.
Meanwhile, the Eagles is up 3. I don't know what that means, but
they got
it means absolutely nothing.
They still got 3. It's just that Green Bay didn't. Let me see. But Green Bay just did.
And I believe they just got a touchdown.
They just got a touchdown. That's what that was. That's why I said Green Bay just did something.
Okay, folks, we were supposed to talk about sports, but this is depressing.
It's not depressing. See, listen, this is how you have to come. Look, I started when I was talking to him earlier about being on the positive. You got to be patient. You got to step into this with loving care.
I'm positive that nobody was on him. See, where was the defense?
Yes, they just got a touchdown. You're positively going to the negative. That's what
there was doing. Because I'm positively looking at this. There was no defense.
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why. Like I said, we've always been known for our defense.
There was no secondary whatsoever. We haven't had a good cornerback since what? Since the Randall days.
Oh wow.
When the last time we had a good cornerback? When the last time we had a good secondary?
That's a long time ago. No, he said a cornerback with a C-O-R, not quarterback.
Oh, cornerback.
Corner. See, a cornerback, that's your secondary defense. That's what he's talking about. That's the one to where if they get past the first line of defense, he's the one that go running up and actually get a touchdown. That's like that last guy in the back in the back.
Right. Which, by the way, if I can give a shameless plug, Eddie Davis.
Yeah, he's like a pickup man. There you go. Pickup man. Yeah.
If I could get a shameless plug on football, my son Eddie Davis III was Rookie of the Year when he played cornerback, and he's still one of the greatest cornerbacks in the Arena League. Yes, I did go there. I sure did.
Okay. Holla back. What's his name, son?
Eddie Davis III.
Eddie Davis Trey.
Plays for Trenton.
Okay, Trenton.
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 Well, he was,
yeah, that's how
he
they
was,
say Trenton.
yeah, he was playing for the Steelhawks, but they wasn't giving him enough money. So
Trenton. I got a story about Trenton.
Trenton.
I was just sharing this recently with somebody because they're driving now. It's a young person that's driving. But I used to always tell Shelly, I said, follow the signs that say Trenton. I said, that's going to get you back home. And anytime she was downtown or South Philly or anything like that, I was saying, follow the signs that say Trenton. Trenton will always get you back home.
Don't tell me she went all the way to Trenton.
Because Trenton is north.
True, but don't tell me she went all the way to Trenton.
No, she realized once she started driving that way, she saw her exit and she would get off. And yes, but she can tell you the story that it always worked. It got her home. But now they change the signs.
To New York.
They say New York now.
They all turn to New York.
Well, it's been a while. It's been a while.
They all say New York now, Disco.
I used to work
downtown. They say New York. They don't say Trenton anymore.
I used to work in Trenton.
Okay.
Ooh, that was an interesting experience. That's all I would say. Yeah. That was an interesting experience. But today's Sundays, we're supposed to be uplifting, right?
Yes. It's Cloud today. Inspiration.
Yes, it is. Inspiration.
Okay, so can I do another shameless plug, Shelly?
What I do?
What's going on with the indie?
Indie Black Media Network.
Indie Black Media Network.
The website is being worked on as we speak.
Isn't there a
is being worked on as we speak?
But isn't there a radio show attached to that as well?
Wednesday night, but we're gonna get CYNDA together first. PPC, we're gonna get that together first.
Oh yeah, that's January the 6th, PPC radio show with host CYNDA Williams and co-host Shelly Williams. That's January the 6th at 4 p.m. Her first guest will be
Philly Beauty.
No,
Philly Beauty.
No, Philly Beauty is January 13th.
Oh, sorry, correction.
Her first guest is her producer.
Kid Disco?
Me.
Kid Disco?
Yeah, me.
That dude?
Get a random black guy. Speaking of old school.
You know another show I will watch all the time. I think you said you went back there. The Chocolate Factory, Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. I love Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
Oh, you're a nerd. What kids watch that?
What you mean?
I like Willy Wonka.
Ain't no black kids watching no Willy Wonka.
What the heck you mean? The Golden Ticket, the Willy Wonka, I love the Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
Ain't no black.
Teaching you that kids don't listen.
And
the consequences of kids not listening.
That's why I said I used to look at all the stuff that was behind it, like what they taught you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? You want to talk about something what they taught you? I didn't realize this till recently. Thank you, Fire Stick. I've been watching the WrestleMania channel.
Oh God, no.
Did you watch wrestling back in the day?
I did.
You know what I've come to realize?
What's that?
Vince McMahon is extremely racist.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you listen to some of the stuff that Jesse the Body was allowed to say and Jerry the King Lawler was allowed to say, and really look at the characters, he was very racist.
I believe he was.
Yeah.
I believe he was.
Extremely racist. I've listened to some of this, outright, flat out racist stuff that Jesse the Body would say when he was commentating with Gorilla Monsoon, calling people buckwheat and calling
there was some stuff out there.
Calling Tito Santana Chico and fried banana eating and all. Yeah.
But see, you know what happens too though? When you have, and it's a perfect example of now, when you have people in power and that have money they feel like they can say anything out of their mouth.
True.
And that's where we are in America right now.
But they also were catering to that crowd was pretty much the same as the NASCAR crowd. That's the way it looked in, because I just sitting here like a week straight looking at it, I'm like really, really paying attention. I'm like, yo, did he just say that?
Yeah, because your eyes are being open. This is a year of vision.
You know what? I know there were a couple questionable characters in the WWF back in the day that I used to look at, and one that really offended me and was right around the time when we were all on the Fight the Power movement and wearing the bandana, the medallion, and all of that. You know, the Do the Right Thing days.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember they had this character where they took the one-man gang, the big white dude, and turned him into called him Akeem. And he's, you know, and the way I'm doing the whole shuck and jive thing, I'm like, really? And you have the nerve to allow this? Like, this is borderline racist. And okay,
it maybe, but then again, it could have been taken in another way too, because see, I actually had somebody who I was involved with who was like that, who grew up in the hood or around Black and Puerto Rican people. Well, he was Caucasian, and that was how he was. That was his life. And so what they were giving you, but see, what you had to realize too, what they were giving you on wrestling, they were giving you people that you can relate to. And that's something that person could have related to was, you know, here he is, a white person that had those type of styles.
But he was just a trailer park image the season prior. See, that's the thing that I don't know. I just found back then. But some of the stuff I've been hearing like real recently, like, wow, like I never paid attention to the commentating that much to realize just how racist these guys really were. And it floored me.
But you know what too? Like when you talk about old school stuff, back old school, we didn't take things so literally back then to where like you had to change a football team because they're the Redskins. You know,
well,
like things weren't taken so literally.
Okay, and I'm going to speak on that.
But this is what I'm getting ready to say to that too, which I was just asking my grandma if she remembered. We had a dude in our neighborhood his store was named Chinks. It was his name, and he was I don't know if he was Italian, but it was a Caucasian guy, and his store was called Chinks. And what happened was, the more recent years, like you're saying, with all of this that's going on, they really made this man change the name of his store. It was a cheesesteak place. They made him change the name. Like, who does that? Like, do you take things that literally that you're going to change the man's name? I mean, the man's name of his store, and it's his name.
I think changing the football team was stupid. They went too far. I think changing Ain't Your Mama Bottle, come on, y'all doing too much. I never even know nobody named Uncle Ben. Come on, man, stop. It's rice. Negroes still gonna eat rice. They still gonna use the syrup.
But see, what I don't think people look at is the flipped end of that. Look on the other end of it. There was the Indian guy who said that his family was with the pictures from the Redskins and all of that. They said they were honored by that. So you're I don't know where you're coming from with what it is that you're deciding, but the people who are being portrayed, they're honored by being on a syrup bottle, by being on a football team. Like that's honor to their family. They're not looking at it as being racist and being a bad thing. So to me, the question is, who is the one coming up with these ideas? Is it somebody who's jealous of the fact that they're actually on there? Like, where's the lie?
No, you know what I think is going on? I'm going to go old school again. Remember All in the Family?
Yeah, you're talking about Carol O'Connor.
Yeah, Archie was a
Carol Connor.
racist, which that was a genius. First of all, that role was genius, and Carol O'Connor was a genius for being able to portray the actual thinking of the average racist.
Yep.
But you had two total different contrasts, and both of them were annoying. You had Archie with his blatant racist, but you had Mike, who was just so far left that he was irritated with his soapbox. Well, the Mike Stivics are the types that would make those type of decisions. Take the Ain't Your Mama off the time, come on, dude, it ain't that serious. Everything was, well, statistics say that the black, come on, dude. Like when they tried to use it against Biden, about that, oh, he signed the crime bill, said that they were predators. I was in jail at that time, and yeah, most of them niggas was predators. Okay. I was locked up for armed robbery. That don't make me a predator. If I'm out there robbing somebody at 2 a.m, don't that make me a predator? Seriously.
Oh, they got a movie out about you. You come out of the military and go and rob banks for money.
Nah,
I saw that movie.
But I'm saying, but it's just funny. They twist things around to, I guess,
I understand.
to see, that's a whole nother show at a whole nother time.
It is. And we can go into it. It is, because it's real talk. That's the thing. It's real talk. It's real.
Shelly hates when sometimes I get all too political. It's like, all right, let's go.
It's fine.
But you know, that's what you do when you think you're supposed to be going.
It's fine because
my legs are white because I'm ashy.
Because what happens too, though, with you actually speaking on it, and like I said, you never know who it helps. It can help somebody else. That's
well, you go help.
That's all. See, Shelly doesn't relate to that story.
What story? I want to hear.
That's not her story.
Shelly's not political. Shelly is
right, but also
I'm about to let somebody in on the live. That y'all gonna talk sports in a minute. I got somebody about to come in.
Who? What? What I missed?
Come on in. He just posted something about the game, and I was like, "Oh, you want to come on and talk about it?" He about to come. Y'all about to talk sports in a minute.
Okay.
Why ain't nothing going on?
Oh, she all personal.
I mean, ain't nothing going on. They.
It's still a conversation. Have you ever heard when sports commentators talk where they still give it comments? It don't matter.
Okay, here's my comment. This why I wouldn't make a good sports comment. They suck.
Yeah, that's pretty much what Disco would just say throughout the whole time. I mean,
they got
the three.
No, we don't want that.
I know they got the 3 points. He's like, oh yeah, but they suck. Like, wait a minute, this gotta be positive. There's some positivity coming.
Nobody's picking up their assignments. Aaron Rodgers got enough time to make a sandwich back in the pocket. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on.
Second down. Yes, 2 minutes. It said 2 minutes, right? They had the 2-minute warning.
He got too much time to be sitting in the pocket. That's what you want to talk about, Shelly?
Oh, that's so cute.
She don't even know what the pocket is.
She don't, but she said you're sitting in it.
She don't even know what the pocket is. See,
I don't know what the pocket is. You know I don't know sports. Listen, I know that the Philadelphia is the Eagles, and I know the Green Bay is the Packers.
Wait,
Green Bay is the Packers.
And then earlier she was like, what was the Saints again, Shelly?
The New Orleans.
Okay, New Orleans Saints. Look at her. She was questioning herself, and she got it.
The New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. New Orleans. I think you can say whatever way you want, right?
Whatever floats your boat.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. Have you been to New Orleans?
I've never been. I can
You've never been to New Orleans?
I have not either. I've been to the where did we go? When you on a plane and you got a layover?
Atlanta?
No. Was it Atlanta?
A layover.
You know, did we go up to the thing? Was that Atlanta?
It's Atlanta.
Oh, never mind.
The underground? Who's in Atlanta?
Yeah, you just come. Oh, never
Who's
mind.
in Atlanta?
I thought I was in.
She's special.
I ain't never been in New Orleans.
Shelly's special. New Orleans is down the bayou, girl. That's like
we never been to. Let me tell you, if the COVID didn't hit, I was gonna be in New Orleans.
At the Jazz
Festival. Mardi Gras?
No, Essence Festival.
Oh yeah.
I was going to be in New Orleans.
That's Shelly's dream, to be on the Essence Festival as a speaker, not there as a guest.
I want to go speak and then turn up. What kind of turn up I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna turn up though.
Well,
turn up for the Lord. Turn it up, turn it up, turn it up.
Well, I was gonna say, when they ask Shelly to speak, I'm going to be there right with you partying. Because I've always wanted to go to the Jazz Festival myself.
Me too. Me
Jazz
too.
Festival?
Yeah. Or Essence Festival, Jazz Festival, either or, whatever comes first.
They have a lot of stuff. I think they do.
Yeah, they do. They have the cool Jazz Festival.
Cool Jazz.
And you got to see people like Graham Central Station and Kool and the Gang. And
see, let me tell you, I don't know if you ever experienced it, because you like you said, go back to old school. But when we interviewed the Goody Mob show, remember?
Goody Mob.
We was at the old Warm Daddies. We was at the old Warm Daddies. And
I just seen that picture lately.
Yeah, and they sat there and said that it reminded them of back home. Being in the old Warm Daddies reminded them of being back home, because it gave you that bayou feel, like being back in the bayou, and like you was out in you was actually out in one of them little shacks. It had that whole vibe to it. And actually, I saw BB King at Warm Daddies.
BB King.
Yes, I saw BB King at Warm Daddies. We had it was a breakfast brunch, and BB King was there playing.
Is he still alive?
I think he is. I think BB King is. Look that up and somebody let me know. Somebody post that and let me know.
I don't think he's alive.
Shelly's gonna Google it. Somebody Google it. Ask my friend Google.
Is BB King alive?
Ask my friend Google. But
I don't think so.
2015, which I figured out.
Oh, okay. He died in 2015.
2015. R.I.P. BB King. What does the BB stand for?
We did know. We should have known that. I did know that. I was like,
I forgot.
No.
What does the BB stand for?
Y'all might be thinking about BB King's in New York, which is the venue, BB King.
No, I forgot that he passed. It in the 20s, for some reason, it's like, it seems like when they go through all the people that passed, it'd be like a lot. So it's hard to try to remember sometimes when it, certain years, it just seemed like there's a lot of artists that passed. Yeah. And you'd be like, oh shoot, I didn't even remember they died. Oh wow, wait, I didn't even realize that one.
People we forgot about, or people one-hit wonders like Steve.
Green Bay done got another touchdown.
All right, wait a minute. He coming. Oh, I gotta go there.
That's the same
I'm
touchdown.
done.
That's the same.
I'm done. But see, we need fans. Eagles vibe off of fans.
But you can't be like that. You gotta be able to perform whether you got a fan
I know.
or not. You gotta be able to perform to the one person.
Right. What good is that going to do?
I know I'm telling you, like when we're down and stuff like that, and the fans get hyped. Oh, it's a wrap.
Okay, I'm gonna Shelly, I got my new
your
board,
playlist.
No, not playlist.
Your
my
schedule.
new so I'm gonna have to write on there, ignore Monica. That's my new task.
No, he didn't.
That's my new task that I'm gonna write on. In fact, let me go get the magic word so I can write on.
Nice.
Ignore.
She said add somebody. Look on there. Add somebody into the Zoom. That's not nice. They're not nice. I got the pouty lip. Him not being nice.
Because you're giving too much credit. They didn't score it again. Oh my God.
They're not being nice.
No cussing.
I'm not cussing.
Tell him what he just put up there on Facebook.
She said, what you just put up there on Facebook? I can't hear him. I can't hear you. You're
It's me.
muted. There you go.
Yeah, here we go. I said the game plan is trash.
It is.
It's super trash.
It's
Yo,
trash.
like it's predictable, it's obvious, it's not creative, it's too damn slow. Why are you taking the clock down every single play? What are you doing? And then they know you're gonna run, pass. They know it already. So they pinning their ears back. And every time we go back to pass, it's a sack because they're fresh, they're not tired. Like, this is so obvious. Anybody can play defense against this offense. This is so frustrating.
You know what?
And the bad thing is that we're actually not playing the correct way we need to be playing.
I made a mistake and I said that I didn't think that we would get any really attention because everybody's watching the Eagles. Nobody's watching this crap.
Listen, it's bad. It's bad. It's so hard to watch. Like, it's so hard to watch. We need to get an offensive coordinator next year.
Yes, that's where I was saying that it lied. An offensive coordinator, because if we think about it, the what is that guy's name that we had during the Super Bowl?
Frank Wright.
And did you see how the interaction was different?
Yeah, and look what he's doing over in Indianapolis.
Yes.
Like, it's so obvious.
I think we need a quarterback.
But no, it's not. It's the one behind him in his ear.
Carson Wentz is a bum.
But he's not.
He's a bum.
I'm sorry. You can't be a bum and do what you did in 2017 for 12 games. You can't be a bum and will your team into the playoffs with receivers like Ward and I don't know who else he had going into the playoffs last year. And it's a shame because the dude has ultimate horrible luck. It has an organization that has never backed them, but decided to sell the house to go up and draft him. And then just because someone else wins you a Super Bowl who has never had any success anywhere else but Philadelphia, you decide to keep that guy on the roster to make your, quote, franchise quarterback always look behind his shoulder. And no matter what he does, he's going to always have to think about when is the play where I'm going to lose my job, right? And then, you do that for 2 years in a row. And then when you finally decide maybe this isn't a good idea for Carson, we're going to move on and we're going to give him Marco the confidence. We draft a damn quarterback who's trash too, by the way, in the second round.
Carson Wentz is still a bum.
Telling me a guy
Carson Wentz is still a bum.
How many games have he played? 12, and there's been 10 different starting lineups in the offensive line. He's had how many?
Carson Wentz, if he would stop looking past just his girlfriend Zach Ertz and realize he has 3 other receivers, maybe he can get something done.
If he had confidence in those receivers,
I was getting ready to say that it's a confidence level.
Then he would look past Ertz. But right now, he is forced to go with what he knows and what he trusts, and that's not all the way his fault. And it makes
that's bad when your tight end is
man,
your best
no quarterback
receiver.
can
That's
play
a problem.
But just like
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
That's what I was getting ready to say.
Same position as you put Carson Wentz and watch him fail. I was listening to sports radio earlier today, and they was talking about Trevor Lawrence, who is obviously going to be a stud in NFL when he gets drafted next year. And the Jets are losing for Trevor Lawrence. You know what they said? It's crazy. If Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jets, he'll be an okay average quarterback. If he goes anywhere else, he's going to be a Hall of Famer. That's the difference. Yeah. Franchise that you go to, the coaching that you have behind him. The reason why Carson Wentz looked the way he looked in 2017 was because Doug Peterson was surrounded by great offensive coaches.
Yes.
People held him accountable for certain mechanics. When they seen something either they worked on it. This dude.
So what's the problem now?
That's because he don't have that. He don't have that.
Furthermore, as an athlete, some athletes have the natural ability, right, where they can just come out no matter what and just get the job done. Some other athletes they're good and they're at the level that they are because they have to work because they need to get repetitions. What you're seeing is Wentz is an athlete of repetition. In the pandemic, this year, trying to recover from injury last year versus actually having the reps. You're seeing his regression because he hasn't had the reps in the offseason over the last 2.5 years in order to get better. All of that encompassing,
it all comes together.
Quarterback for Carson Wentz, and everybody's ready to get rid of the quarterback. Let's look at why the quarterback is the way he is.
That was a question that I was asking too, because that's what they were saying. They were like, if there was somebody who you think's going first, they said, do you think that they would get rid of the coach or would they get rid of Wentz?
They have drafted one Pro Bowler since 2013. One. You can't sustain a franchise with one Pro Bowler being drafted since 2013. Everybody's so quick to get rid of Carson. Tell me an offensive lineman they drafted to protect Carson. Tell me a wide receiver that they drafted for. You got this guy.
Yeah, it's the offense.
Had 123 yards again. He is over 1,000 yards for the season. We only 12 games in, and he was there for us to get in the draft last year. And we're blaming Carson Wentz.
See, you where I'm at with it. I think it's everybody around. For one, like you said, the first thing I was saying was the offensive coach. That person's not there no longer. The offensive line is a wrap. Like, it's almost like they're like opening up the door and say, go ahead, tackle him. It's more to everything. It's more to everything.
We haven't had an O-line in a good while.
We haven't had an O-line since the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's a good while, because that was, what, 3 seasons ago?
You know what's bad right now is that we used to have, our defense would put up more points than the offense.
We don't. Oh, you want me to?
You see? Yeah, go there with that, because that's where I'm at with it.
We're the only defense in the league that doesn't punch after the football while tackling. We're the only defense in the league that doesn't get their head back on a pass to get an interception or a pass deflection. We're the only defense in the league that freaking starts 10 yards off of the wide receiver. You want me to go there? You want me to go there?
Yeah, go there, because that's where I'm at with it. Like.
You do not get turnovers. You have to win. In order to win in the NFL, you have to win in the front lines. And we win in the front lines 50% of the time. And that's on defense. And then when they decide they don't want to play, which they do get their bad games, right? They play good mostly, but they have their bad games, their bad series, their bad moments. Then we're screwed because we don't win on the front on offense, obviously. And everybody's like, Carson's holding the ball too long, because Carson doesn't trust the protection. So he's looking at the defensive linemen and linebackers running at him. That's why he's holding the ball. By the way, he doesn't have receivers that can get open within 2 seconds. That's why he's holding the ball. Are you kidding me?
Look, talking about it, that's what he's doing now.
Come on.
He's in the middle of that right now. Exactly what you just said. There's nobody to throw the ball to.
The sports announcers sometimes they're right. Like the one play last week, they got the nerve to show when a receiver open. Why don't you show that simultaneously to when a freaking 320-pound lineman was running right at him, right in his face, and he had to decide, am I going to dodge this or again. Look up the field?
It just happened again. Nobody was open.
Yeah, that's true. But see,
quarterback. What is that quarterback supposed to do? And listen,
but by the same token, I will say this in his defense: we don't have an O-line and the secondary. We were just talking about the secondary. Where's the
secondary defense?
Where's the secondary?
I'm so disappointed in Darius Slay. That's another thing. He's getting torched week in and week out, and that's not why we were all excited for him. He's supposed to be a shutdown cornerback. I'm not saying you shut these receivers down to nothing, but goodness gracious, Metcalf had a career day on you. Adams, how do you not get your head around on that touchdown pass? If he would have got, Aaron Rodgers threw that ball so slow. If he would have got his head around, it would have been a battle at the top. But because he didn't get his head around, and he think he did something good because he got his hand on the ball. No, if you would have saw where the ball was, and it would have been a more legit battle, and he wouldn't have scored that touchdown. Stop playing with me. Like it's
it's a step further than what you're not giving the 20%. They're doing the 10. They're not going all the way.
You know why Slayer's regressing? Because of the coaching. And they teach certain techniques that they want in their defense. Schwartz teaches certain techniques that he wants in his defense. Slay wasn't that good when Schwartz was coaching him in the Lions. He just got good after Schwartz left. What does that tell you?
Yeah. I see that a lot of times in sports, period. Like when someone changes who they're playing under, that's when they can excel and become everything that they're supposed to be. You know what I mean? And that's why I talk, when a lot of people say stuff about Reed, I was like, yo, I'm gonna tell you for a fact, that one will put you where he needs you to go, to do what he needs you to do.
Look at what he's doing in Kansas City.
Oh, I know.
The only problem that I had with Andy in Philly, I think they gave him, too much autonomy.
Too many jobs.
Issues with the general managers. They gave him too much autonomy with the personnel. And so he made, he wasn't ready to take on that. He couldn't identify real talent. Sounds similar, right? But he's a hell of a damn coach.
He is. I think that he had too many jobs when he was here with us.
My point.
Yeah. And along with that, all of the stuff that he had going on with his kids. Remember that? That was like a big thing too. Like it was so much, like there's no way that he could separate the personal life that was going on with his children all the time like that, the football life, then the management, then it was just too much.
Speaking of, I was watching First Take last week, and
that's my show.
What's the first thing that Carson Wentz needs to do to get better? You want to know what the answer was? He needs to hire a psychiatrist.
Yeah. But that's true.
That's funny, but it's
true.
Has put this man through. What you guys are watching on that field is he is mentally
an emotional breakdown.
he's mentally done. He is a shell of himself, and the Eagles have themselves to blame for it by not putting the right people around him, by not trusting in him, by keeping Foles too long, by drafting Jalen Hurts, by not replacing Frank Reich. It's not about Frank Reich. It's not about the fact that
that's
Frank.
That's the same thing that they did. I'm gonna switch gears. That's the same thing they did to AI.
Exactly. When Larry Brown left, they couldn't find the right coach for him. Right? They couldn't.
They didn't put AI. They didn't put nothing but brand around AI
that could play under his type of style.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we had a good run because talent will allow you to still have a good run over a long period of time. His talent got us 0-1, right? Got us consistent playoff bursts, but we couldn't take it any farther with such a generational talent because we now left Pat Coachy. But yeah, we and every time they got somebody, they was over the hill already.
It's funny. Y'all talk about Larry Brown. I saw him years after he wasn't here, and he wasn't Iverson actually wasn't playing anymore and stuff. And I asked him personally, I was like, I think I said something about Iverson, and he was like, I would love for him to play for me right now. So they really had a good personal relationship.
And you could tell anything Iverson ever accepted in basketball, one of the first people that always came out of his mouth was Larry Brown.
Yep.
Where's my coach? Where's my coach? Always.
Yep. And Larry Brown said it. He was like, he said, I would love for him to be playing under me right now. Like so it went both ways. Iverson felt that way and Brown felt that same way. But the thing I was going to say about Wentz, and you were saying about a good psychiatrist or whatever, honestly speaking, if you think about it, back when we was at the Super Bowl and that year, Carson Wentz was actually heading up Bible study outside of with his teammates. Like his whole thing was different outside of his teammates. And okay, you don't hear about none of that. He doesn't do none of that now. That was his outlet. That was how he actually was able to manage both because
build chemistry.
Yes, the chemistry to mesh to get the
people a part of that group. And people, that's what I'm saying. There's so much encompassing with what's going on with the Eagles. And I get so frustrated that people are just like, get rid of the quarterback, get rid of the coach, get rid of the GM. The GM has done a horrible job. The GM should have replaced Frank Reich when you can't get, I would never be upset with somebody for bettering themselves and moving on and getting a better. But it's on that organization that loses that great talent to replace that great talent.
Yeah. See, now I'm going to say to you, you go back to what I was reading. Unity. When I was talking about inspiration earlier, I was saying unity, and that is, it all comes together. That's what it is. You got to have unity within your family. That's their family. They're on the field and off the field. That's family. Yep. You're sitting out there. He probably spend more time with his football family than he does with his family, which is definitely the problem right now. So that's family.
That's the point I'm trying to make. People also need to recognize that this season, there are athletes that are good because of how hard they work and how many reps they take when you aren't watching. I was one of those athletes. That's why I know that. And I recognize that in Wentz right away. Yes, he has talent, but when you talk about his offensive awareness, his progressions, we saw his rookie year how off his technique was and how he had to consistently work on his technique. If you don't have the ability to do that, then you are going to suffer and regress. And that is, again, it's a lot of things happening, but that is one of the things that we are definitely seeing with Carson Wentz. It's his inability for reps with his teammates, with himself, with that O-line, with that coach next to him, going over the plays to ensure that he knows what his progressions are. And that, listen, Mike Vick was so talented. He had the same problem when it came to being an actual coach. But his legs saved him most of the time.
There's my jersey.
Yeah.
Vic.
But his legs saved him most of the time. And Carson Wentz tries to do, those things, but at the end of the day, it's repetition that he's missing. And that's why I'm like, yo, get this man, when he got injured in 2017, and he came back rusty in 18 before he got injured again, and Foles had to take him to the playoffs or whatever, and he wasn't playing good and all that. I kept saying back then, the dude had to spend the whole offseason getting healthy, not working on his craft. If you can't work on your craft, you can't get better at your craft.
That's true. But
for the last 2.5 years, this quarterback that we're watching, the reason why he looks so bad is because he hasn't had the opportunity to work on his craft for whatever reason. Plus, he's mentally out of it.
I was getting ready to say there's a combination there, because if you really look at it, Wentz is a type of person, that's like you said, personally, that needs that outside interaction.
I think he's so good that if you put those, like you said, those personal things in place, he overcomes everything else that we were talking about with the O-line, with the receivers, because we watched him do it in 17. Those receivers got better under him. I was never a Alshon Jeffrey fan when he came. Aguilar is not good. I don't care what he's doing for Vegas. Was not good then, but he looked good.
You always heard his name.
Ertz, I think, is an average tight end. Carson Wentz makes Ertz who he is, okay? So when you look at those things, and when you look at what he did at the end of last season, then you can't tell me that this guy, if certain things are in place, can't lead a franchise. I've seen it with my own eyes. You can't tell me that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's like I said, it is a personal thing, and he's got a new baby, a new wife.
Exactly.
He's got,
like you said, plus life at home.
He wants to, and that was why I was telling him that they made comments about he was trying to rush and get back home because of that. He wanted to spend that time with his new baby and his new wife.
We talked about that.
But that's because he's a guy who's very personal. He needs interaction. So outside of working with the team, he needs that Bible study that he used to do. Like he needs that extra stuff to help him get through this so that he can be all he can be. It makes the difference knowing him as a person.
Behind, because when I stopped at the gloves, it's way behind. Ooh. I'm like, my phone
or like we said, he needs a psychiatrist, a therapist.
He needs
one.
Well, his therapy
or both, right?
Yeah.
He needs one or the other or both, But it's sad that we are the only team in NFL without an offensive coordinator. Even the coaches that run their own plays still has an offensive coordinator, someone else that can be the buffer between the coach and the quarterback, someone else that can sit outside and identify what maybe the coach and quarterback aren't seeing because they're too emotionally invested in what's going on the field. There's no middle person that can sit there and look at the same plays, look at the same tape, and give a different viewpoint or give a different eye in that room.
And
And
the other
guess
thing
what?
that. Oh, go ahead.
Guess what? I got some good news and some bad news.
Go ahead.
Good news.
Our time is almost up.
Good news is that good show.
Okay.
Bad news is almost over.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
You got like 5.
But I want to. All right. I want to say
like
one thing though.
You got 560 seconds left.
There was one thing that I was gonna. Oh my God, I lost my thought. It was what you were talking about. Oh, the other thing too that I was gonna say that's added to our team. We're a team that gets hype off of fans.
Yes.
That's what we're missing too. Like, when we be down and the fans be all hype and yelling and everything, then I was like, wait a minute, did the Eagles and especially when we go away. And when we go away and the Eagles, they look up in the stadium and they see all them Eagles fans.
Want to play that much harder because they see the Eagles fans travel with them.
Yes. Yeah. Remember how much that, oh my God, like there was this one year where it just seemed like everybody in the stands was just all Eagles fans wherever they went. They on the West Coast and you see all these Eagles shirts. I was like, what?
But there are a lot of people.
We're also a team that gets hype off of that.
Yeah. But there are a lot of fans throughout the NFL who aren't from Philly who like the Eagles, and some who have transplanted. So that does happen a lot. I remember when I was living in Boston, you saw a lot of Eagles fans at the stadium.
Yeah.
12 passes.
I was one of them.
This is just.
What you say, Rashawn? What you say?
I said 12 passes, 4 sacks.
Yeah, I see. I see.
That means your O-line is just not taking care of business.
Nope. But yeah, that's my take on everything. It's so much wrong with the Eagles. It's not
Rashawn, can I say to you that was actually a very excellent take? Shut me right up.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming in with that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, shut me right. I had nothing. I said, damn, the man is right. There's nothing else I can say.
I appreciate your words, because it's like I got it's like, but you got the names. You're like, all right, this name is this one, because I'd be like, all right, well, this one right here and this and this. So it's like, nah, well, this name and this one and that. I'm like, all right, because I love the football and I love to play. But I'm like, I'm one of them people too that like certain players too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a quarterback person. I love quarterbacks because I feel they're the key.
Yep.
So that's why I feel that really they got to get Wentz in, get his head to where it needs to be, because they're the key player. That center position is the center of everything.
And we typically aren't the franchise known for breaking good players. They broke this quarterback. The way the Browns usually break athletes, the way the Jets are breaking. And that's why Trevor Lawrence cannot go to the Jets. We were never known for breaking court. We broke that quarterback. Wow. Look at the pass out. Wow.
Well, I think.
We missed it. Good.
I think we broke Michael Vick. I think Donovan McNabb just wasn't up for the task.
No, Donovan went personal.
Yeah.
No, Donovan went personal with some stuff. Like that year we went to the Super Bowl. See, now we could talk another time on that one, because that year we went to the Super Bowl, he went personal. I
thought Vick played well here in Philly.
He know darn well who he should have been passing that ball to, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Remember that seat? Remember?
Throw the football to the best receiver in the league. Come on,
but he got offended or whatever he got he had his girly panties on that day, and he didn't pass the ball to who he needed to.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's the Super Bowl?
Because him and what's name was beasting. Oh, my stomach hurt. Come on.
Something was going on with them or whatever, and he didn't pass him the ball. He made it personal.
The boy that came from Dallas, was with the Niners and Dallas. What was his name? I don't know why I can't think of his name now.
Well, how about we think about it for next time? Because like you said,
T.O.
It was T.O. It was definitely T.O. Yeah, it was.
It was him and Terrell Owens. Then it was, that's my quarterback. Why would I say that about my quarterback? You know you said it.
Yeah. And so he didn't pass him to that whole.
Mm-hmm.
That's a perfect example of what we're saying with Wentz. The personal doesn't need to go to the field. It's in a different level of personal, but it's still personal that's brought out to the field.
Right.
Personal is personal though.
Yeah, because he's got a lot that he's missing. They need to have them Bible study services again. All right, well, we're gonna wrap it up. And like I said, I thank everyone that came on here for the he did. He put his thing up and says subscribe.
Let him say that.
So I want you to speak on what you got going on. And then we'll end it. So
thank you guys so much for having me come on and give my take on what's happening with our Philadelphia Eagles. It's really, really tough to watch, and I hope that they get a chance to turn it around. But go ahead and check me out on YouTube. Go over to YouTube. All you got to do is search my name, Rashawn Howard. That's Rashon. And it'll come right up. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go ahead and catch up on Connected Cooking, which is a cooking show that I have. Season 2 will come out at the end of next spring, and we come in bigger, better, harder, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. And then also check out my website, www.experienceshon.com. That's EXPERIENCESHON.com. Grab a hoodie, grab a t-shirt, buy a financial literacy ebook, or going ahead and enroll in one of our e-courses. We're here to help you guys get financial stability. So that's everything that's happening with me, y'all.
Financial stability. I do need
what he said. Wait, I'm trying to get my finger the right way. What he said.
What he said. That was great. Okay, so there we go then. So we got Monty on the scene, inspirations in sports, and my take. So that's what we're gonna go with that, huh? That'll be the end of our sports section called My Take. So I'm glad for your take on it, and thanks for your interaction and all. And Disco, always, thank you, always. On Grown Folks Radio.
I better thank the producer over here, Negro.
Oh, we got somebody in the back. Shelly,
somebody in the background. Somebody in the background.
Shelly, the producer, Shelly, talk about some Negroes.
How's she producing from the couch? How does that work?
That's what she is. Calling it, yeah. Call it, how you over there on the couch? She's in the office chair.
I watch the game. You're supposed to watch the game from the couch.
Oh, so she said you're supposed to watch the game from the couch.
Y'all notice I moved from one room. I was like, oh wait, this room, I don't got the TV on in this room. I gotta go to.
Wait a minute. Last week she was watching. No, the week before that she was watching Shrek. So don't fake it like you.
Yeah, that's her show. If you talk about a show that come on each time, she do like Shrek. She likes Shrek.
Shrek was cool. Listen, y'all.
All right, so Grown Folks Radio. So you can come and check us out every Sunday, 4 to 6. Inspiration in sports. My take.
Now come back at 8 o'clock, Grown Folks. Old school Sunday. Speaking of old school.
Yes. What you got? What music you got going on at 8 o'clock? Some nice stuff.
I'm going straight 90s hip hop. Backpack.
Okay.
I'm going straight.
I need
right. I'm going straight backpack with. I'm going straight backpack with it. I'm going straight urban expressions with it.
Like see the morning dew.
Urban expressions.
Yeah.
So come on. There we go.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay. That's a good run right here. All right.
So Facebook, we're getting a little bit excited right now, but don't forget.
That's because we're talking positivity.
Right, so make sure you come back for the old school Sunday 90s backpacker, Jigga and Foxy and Biggie and yeah.
No, that's crazy. Talking about the 90s.
Oh, here comes the producer. Sorry, here you go.
Talking about the 90s, it was a historian that contacted me about the Jigga picture I put up and was asking me all the details. They trying to do like a behind the scenes of Jay-Z, asking me all the details. I was like, well, Jay-Z, I did have a conversation with Jay-Z about that song, Ain't No Nuh. And I said, I don't like that song with Ain't You Sleep Around, Give Me a Lot. You need to be throwing out condoms. And then, Jay-Z like, yeah, Mom, that's real, Mom. That's really what happened, Mom. So So the guy's going to do like a little behind the scenes story. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing some type of behind the scenes story. And I gave him the details. I'm like, yeah.
So you was Ma the whole time, Ma.
Yeah, Ma. But he did. He's like, yeah, Ma, that's real, Ma. That's what happened, Ma. And I'm like, yo, but sleeps around and gives you a lot? That's nasty. You sleep around and give me a lot? What you want to give me some STD or something? What?
I might play that. I might play that tonight, Shelly. Thanks a lot. Thanks for
I
the
love that
inspiration.
song. I mean, I know I said that. I said that, but I still love the song. Yeah, I mean.
I'm talking about playing some.
Give me a lot.
I'm talking about playing some Queen 10.
You said get it.
You saying that and dancing for sure.
I'm gonna play stuff like Queen 10, The Lost Boys. Ooh.
I got a throwback picture of Queen Pen, but ain't nobody really checking for Queen Pen. So
I know. It was the red hair when she had the red hair.
So I ain't put her picture up because anybody checking for Rashawn, you checking for Queen Pen? Who the hell knows Queen Pen?
I don't know.
Okay. MC Light, Foxy, Nas.
Yeah, MC Light, Foxy.
MC Light, Foxy, Nas. You can go all
City High.
What would you do? Oh, of course, I got a story about City High. We love City High, of course. They came to the first Club UX ever. City High showed out for Club UX, so I appreciate them always.
Major Figures, shout out to Bianca, my very first.
They came there too. They came to the first one too. Major Figures came too.
Shout out to Bianca. My very first interview ever in life was Bianca. Love her. Yeah, I'm gonna play all that. Even Ram Squad.
Oh, Ram Squad always.
That just made me say it right.
Yeah, I know, cause Ram.
Yo, they gave me a shout out on their album too, on the tape. They gave me a shout out, so I like Tommy Hill. That's my.
Oh, he caught it. It's a touchdown.
Gotta pin their ears back and get this safety.
Oh, I see.
They didn't get it.
So Facebook and grown folks, well, just tune in. We're gonna let y'all finish watching this.
I know I look like Winter all up in here. My bad.
Shoot, it's a bad hair day for me, but hey, whatever.
No, you don't look like Winter. Actually, look like somebody's substitute teacher.
You two ladies look amazing.
Thank you, Rashawn.
He's so nice.
Thank you. While DJ Disco play me, somebody look like a substitute teacher. Well, that's just I'm home with my glasses on.
You're like a substitute teacher.
All right, listen. All right.
No, he getting you back. You got him earlier. She got him earlier.
That was off air.
Oh, it was off air. Oh, okay.
I did not talk about your salt and pepper face on the screen.
She just did.
More like salt on your pepper. Is
more salt than pepper?
It's more salt than pepper on your face.
Ooh,
anyway.
Thanks for the inspiration again. Salt and pepper. Play some salt and pepper. Express.
Yeah, he just had a birthday and stuff. So, maybe that's the little salt and pepper come in.
He got more salt with that pepper. Well, all right, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rashawn. I just was watching, I was Facebook scrolling, and I was like, I know you got some stuff to say.
Yeah. That's what's up.
It was great.
So maybe if you have the time, we can pull you in on Sundays. Think about it.
Playing.
He said he ain't gonna guarantee that right now, but we got you. Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Wow.
Y'all got me all spring and summer for sure.
Ain't nothing going on in the spring and summer, man. Who's playing? It looking like baseball might not play. People getting fined left and right. They can't afford to play.
Wow.
Because of COVID. They're not doing right. They're getting fined left and right. I don't know.
All right, well.
It is.
I know we got to wrap it up.
I'm going to go back to my substitute teaching,
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Rashawn.
All right, guys.